Welcome to RTBro's Trading Academy, where we only focus on the charts. We ignore the news because it could be manipulation, and we also ignore fundamentals because it cannot be quantitatively valued. However, today our conviction is really being put to the test, guys. There's a ton of bearish news out in the market with Ukraine and Russia and all that craziness going on, guys. This is one of those moments where your conviction is really being tested. Are you going to buy into the news, or are you going to look at what the charts say alone, right? Right now, at this moment, at the time of recording, the charts look okay. Okay? They look okay right now. Now, they're close, but they have not lost our key levels. All right. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to show you guys the actual key levels we're looking at. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise. You've seen it yesterday. However, we do have an additional level we'll also talk about. So go ahead and like and subscribe to this video and leave a comment. What do you guys think is going to happen? I'm really curious to see your guys' thoughts. All right. So this is the Bitcoin chart. Okay. Now, if you go to the lower time frame, we are currently on a trend line. Okay. And this trend line is pretty clear. Okay, we have a test, a test, a test, a test, and a test, right? So right now we're holding it. Okay, this is a downward sloping trend line, and generally these can be bullish patterns, but it's not unlikely or it's not impossible for these trend lines to break down to the downside. All right, this does happen. A good example of this happening recently was in Crow. Okay, Crow coin, I actually or crypto.com coin, whatever it's called, right? I was able to make a good play because I expected a breakdown of that trend line, and here very possible we also break down from here as well, right? But the important thing right now is we are still at that golden pocket region, guys, okay? This golden pocket region is still holding up. And until we actually lose it, it's really hard for me to be bearish at these levels, all right? You guys can call me crazy or whatever you want to think, but the important thing is, as long as we are at the golden pocket region, this is the most likely place for this to bounce. This is the 702. We've just tapped it, okay? This is the most likely place on this entire structure for us to bounce. And until we actually do break down from here, it's really hard for me to be that bearish at this point. Now, if we do lose this level, make it very clear, I will switch my bias to bear because we have invalidated this golden pocket region. All right. Now, not just a drop, it needs to be more of a drop in like consolidation, some sort of bearish market structure. But ultimately, if we lose the golden pocket, yes, I will flip bearish. Okay. However, right now, I can't be bearish at the golden pocket. Okay. I have a very strict rule against it. It doesn't make sense to me. Based upon the previous history of charting over the last few years, the golden pocket is the most optimal place for a bounce to happen. Now, not only that, we still do have extreme negative funding. Okay. That means there are a lot of short positions right now that are overexposed in this market. They're getting euphoric. They see all this news, they get into over leveraged position. These can be exploited by the bulls, guys, and it does not take that much for these things do pop to the upside. All right, not that much momentum to the upside will make these things capitulate, and it will give us one hell of an exit pump. All right, if you want to get out of the market. So this trend line is important. The golden pocket is important, and one more thing I do want to discuss with you guys is going to be right here. Let's go ahead and pull it back up. Let's go to the RSI, okay? Relative Strength Index shows that we have a bullish divergence on the 4-hour on multiple different levels, guys, okay? So if you go over here, we can see we have a low, and a low. However, we have a higher low, and a higher low. We have two different bullish divergences that have formed on the 4-hour. I think this is significant. I really, really do. What this generally tells you is that the bears are losing sell pressure. That means they're not able to push the price down as strongly as in the previous bounce. So this drop has less or has more strength than this drop, which had more strength than this drop. So ultimately, each of these drops are actually losing sell pressure. Now, if we lose the golden pocket and we do lose this trend line, obviously, I think the sell pressure will greatly increase. And I think we will drop pretty harshly. But right now, guys, the sell pressure is diminishing, which is being shown on the bullish divergences, right? We also have this trend line with the golden pocket. This is the primary zone where you should be bullish if you completely ignore the fundamentals and the news, like I stressed to you guys. Now, the next thing to talk about as well is that this news, I do believe it's already been priced in. Okay. This is not a black swan event. This is not something that just came out of nowhere and no one could have predicted. This is something that has been building up over the last few weeks, guys. Like, this is not something that's really that surprising. So, is it really hard to assume that people have already gotten their positions in lieu of this moment happening, right? You know how it's like the buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, the same thing also exists. You sell the rumor, buy the news, right? If it's a bearish news that's coming out or a bearish rumor, once that bearish event does actually happening, a lot of times the price will actually increase after that news does come out. All right. So buy the rumor, sell the news. Sell the rumor, buy the news, right? Depends on what way the sentiment should be for that news event. All right, now next thing let's talk about is the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, Bitcoin dominance had a really nice drop today. I was very happy about it. However, we've had a very strong bounce back up. So once again, we are retesting this level again for the 80th time or whatever, how many times we tested, right? So this level is now being tested once again. So we're still range bound between these two levels. And until we break out in either direction, we're still to just, messing around right now, right? Now there's a weekly level up here. This level has acted as a very strong resistance so far. If we do get above here, that'd be extremely bearish for the altcoins. All right. So if you do start showing some bullish momentum here, and it starts pressing upwards, that's not a good sign for altcoins, right? So we don't want to see that happen. Let me get rid of these two things so I can make it not as obvious, or get a bigger screen. There you go, guys. So this weekly level, very, very important, but right now we're still stuck between these two levels. So right now, there's really not much to say here, guys. Like, we're still just range bound between these two key levels. And until we break either direction, I really can't be bullish or bearish on the altcoin specifically. Now, speaking of altcoins, this is our total 3 chart. I don't know why this did not go away. It did on the previous chart. This is the total 3 chart, right? And like I told you guys, this right here is, again, this is the key weekly support level on the total 3. Okay, this is it, guys. This is a massive weekly support level that we are still resting in. So I don't really think it makes much sense to be bearish here, right? And the same thing because we have the golden pocket of this entire structure. Okay, this is something different than what we see on Bitcoin. This is an entire structure golden pocket. All right. Again, it just doesn't make that much sense to be bearish right now in the golden pocket. All right. And I keep stressing that over and over and over again because historically, if you go back and do historical analysis on the golden pocket, they're generally very bullish moments. All right. Next thing I'm going to go over is the fear greed index. We are even further into extreme greed. And historically, again, when people are overly fearful, this is generally the best opportunity to be buying. All right. Now, fear and greed can go down for a while. Don't get me wrong on that, right? Fear and greed or the fear can definitely stay down for a very long period of time. But generally, this is the time you should be looking for your long positions, right? Just like whenever people are super euphoric and they're very greedy, that's the time you should be looking to exit your positions, right? And on this channel, we've gone over multiple times how this actually has been fairly accurate on giving us an idea when the tops and bottoms are. So extreme fear, this is really what we want to see. Negative interest, again, something we really, really want to see. The bullish divergence on the 4-hour, again, something we really want to see. Being in the golden pocket on the Bitcoin as well as the total 3, something we want to see. All right, all these things are very, very nice. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the DXY. Okay, DXY does not look healthy. Okay, I'm telling you right now, like this is not looking good. We want to see this drop. That means that the U.S. people are fleeing from crypto and fleeing from stock markets into U.S. dollar. That's why this is increasing, which isn't too surprising given the situation, right? So people are leaving the crypto market. They're leaving traditional assets, right? So this is showing as the U.S. dollar is strengthening. We want to see this start to curve back and drop if we're going to see some sort of reversal in the crypto market, right? So right now we really want to see an increase, but not too much to take from this. Just understand that we are currently trending up, which shouldn't be that much of a surprise for anybody. And on the Dow Jones, we had a absolutely miserable day today. Dropped by what? 60 or 0.68%. It's not much for crypto, but for the traditional stocks, it's pretty aggressive. So, but again, where did it stop at? Daily moving average, right? 200 daily. And we called this out a few days ago on the channel. So this is something we did not want to, we wanted to see this get above it. We did not. We got a bearish retest and we're continuing back down, right? This does not look good, right? So the traditional stock market does not look good, and there's really not much of a bullish case here. Crypto looks a lot healthier, but the traditional stock markets do not look healthy. Um, so ultimately, guys, this level's still holding. So make sure you guys are watching that. I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. Make sure you guys are on the Discord because I'll be updating you guys as more information comes. Um, but make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys leave a comment. What's going to happen? Yada yada yada. I want to see these things, right? And don't get caught by all these scam accounts that keep posting in the comment section, right? Give me some legitimate content so I can respond back to you guys as well. So outside of that, I'll let you guys go and have a fantastic evening. Stay safe like always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like always, deuces, boys. I'm out.